All right. Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about portfolios and how to build them. This presentation that I'm giving right now is going to be some basic information, just um, different overall information of your different choices in making a portfolio, but I will include at the end some examples of online portfolios. And also, I will link in the email some videos about that further go into portfolio building and with examples because I don't have examples. So it's kind of a multi-part training. So this is, like I said, the overview, then I'll give some online examples, and then I'll give you some examples that you can watch on your own time that actually go in depth of an actual portfolio and things like that. And if you would like to schedule a portfolio um, meeting with me, if you want to do that one-on-one, we can definitely do that. Just send me a message and we can meet in my office. We'll set aside like an hour or whatever. We'll look at all your images and we can create a portfolio and talk about the flow of the portfolio and everything like that, and your options on printing and things like that. So if you want to do that, just schedule that with me. But this is the overview. So let's talk about types of portfolio displays. So we've got physical print portfolios. Those are the classic, they're industry standard. That is kind of your book. We also refer to them as books in the modeling industry. Books with physical images inside of them. Then you have a website, which I refer to as an additional resource. It's really nice and professional, and it can really add to your professionalism in your career. And then, of course, your social media or agency website. So those are both powerful resources to reach larger audiences and things like that. So those are the types of portfolio displays, and we'll talk about all three of them today. Okay, let me move my video. Okay, so let's talk about making the most out of your portfolio, okay? These are things to consider when you're thinking about what type of portfolio you want to create. Your preference of modeling and your goals. So do you want to do, are you a freelance model? Are you a hobby model? Do you want to get paid gigs in the future? Do you want to get paid gigs, but you live in a rural area and you don't plan on leaving? So you might want to make a website, things like that. Are you hoping to go to castings one day, things like that? What's most accessible to you? And portfolio does come at various different pricing. So what's most accessible to you in that way? What helps you stand out from the crowd? How often you're able to keep it up to date, and how you can make the most of your career using your portfolio, and figuring out which portfolio display or a combination of them meets all of these points for you, if that makes sense. So let's talk about print portfolios, okay? So print portfolios are the industry standard in the modeling world, and they're also referred to as books, like I said. Having a print portfolio is one of the most important tools you can have as a model, especially for any professional career and any castings or in-person gigs. So I've just created, or I just like compiled some pictures of different, what they kind of look like. So down here, this is the classic standard book. Sometimes agencies will have like their logo or their name, a book that you can purchase from them. Sometimes, it's tear sheets that all are printed at the same time and put into a book. Sometimes it's a printed book like this, something printed in a book like this, which is hardcover. This is just a notebook, but you can get, and these are beautiful when they're printed. You can get these on different photo printing websites. They're usually called flat lay books or something of that sort. And Or you can get the ones that are like a binder where the picture slips into a sleeve like this. We'll show, you know, it slips in here. Wow, this green screen is like starting to really annoy me, so I'm gonna take it off. I'm done with it. Done. Okay. I just always feel like this looks ratchet, but it is what it is. Most of the time that's falling somehow, but a sleeve that's like this where the picture goes inside and it can go in a binder, different things like that. They also make flat lay books like this where the picture can be torn out, so it has like a tear track along the inside. So there's a lot of different options. And let's talk about the pros and cons of print portfolios and kind of the overall view of it. Okay, so I'm going to move my person around and I will bring it back when I get to this area. So print portfolios are very important for professional careers. They are the most important type of portfolio. They're basically a must. You will need a portfolio to book paid gigs. So you might not be considered for certain gigs if you don't have a printed portfolio with you. They want to see your look, they want to see your capabilities, they want to see everything. So other things that are frequently kept with a print portfolio are your comp card, which I think I've talked to you guys a little bit about. I can't remember at this point, but a comp card is a card. I have a napkin, but it's usually a little bit bigger than this. And it will have like your headshot on one side, and then it will have like your digitals or another headshot and your measurements and your name on the other side. And you want to have a comp card and your portfolio for any paid gigs that you're meeting someone in person for. It's a absolute must. And I recommend having digitally, like on a computer, on your phone, and on a comp card. It's a total must. So you can work on those things. The things that models do on their own and get for themselves. So that's up to you. You have to take those things into your own hands. And I can always help you with them. But that's something that is a tool for your career that you can do on your own. The print portfolios must be visually appealing. So print portfolios must be created with design in mind, okay? The set of images must flow between one to the next, and they must be visually attractive, right? So you have to make these with design in mind, okay? So you don't want to put all of your close-up shots and then all of your full body shots and then all of your digitals and then all of your editorials. Like, you want to mix it up. You want them to flow. Think about when you're looking at an appealing pose or appealing picture, right? You know, you might have a close-up on this side with a hand over here, and then that kind of creates a line, and you might do one that's a full body, something like that, that's mixed up. There's a nice flow to it. I really recommend starting with a plain headshot, simple headshot, easy makeup, simple makeup that shows you. It needs to show your capabilities as a model. Oops. So they must show a range of emotions, it must show a range of looks, and it must show a range of what you're capable of. So you basically don't want to have your whole portfolio made up of one shoot. It needs to be several shoots. It needs to be several different looks. Sorry, I just ate. And it needs to show what you can do as a model. It's the industry standard, like I said, so they're completely necessary if you plan on exploring a more traditional modeling career. And like I said, you won't be considered for certain gigs if you don't have a portfolio with you. They also take dedication and upkeep, okay? Print portfolios must be updated as you grow as a model. This is why most agencies don't let you dye your hair. They make you keep your hair the same for 2 years because you have to create a new portfolio. That's one of the biggest reasons why agencies have strict rules about changing your appearance. So and that's fine if you do change your appearance, but you have to update your portfolio. Print portfolios do take time and money to upkeep, so just take that into consideration. Prints can vary anywhere from $1 to $5 a pop. If you have 20 images at $5 a pop, that's $100 plus shipping, plus your binder for a year, right? So it's not super expensive, but you do have to make an investment. So just keep that in mind. And then they're used in person. They're mostly used for in-person tryouts, gigs, castings, things like that. So let's talk about making a print portfolio. So first you're going to choose your photos. So that's going to be 10 to 20 of your best images. They must be your best images. Make sure that they show different angles, different looks, different emotions, different styles. Make sure you're not making the same face or angle, pose, whatever you want to call it, in all the same photos. Make sure it's not the same photo shoot, like I said, and you'll need a variety of like full length, close up, 3/4, things like that. Then you want to get a high quality binder. So that can be lots of different types. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them on Staples. You can, if you want to do a hardcover flat lay, you can get types like these on or photo printing websites. And I can even show you guys one on my album delivery site. But I really recommend a high quality leather or something like that. It looks really beautiful. Printing your images. So they can be expensive at times, but remember that this is an investment. This is one of the most important things, because photographers typically export their images for print, and using a bad printing service can really affect the quality of your images. So number one, always make sure when you're going to print, you're not selecting the picture off your phone, because you don't know how many times you saved it, compressed it, screenshotted it, and every time you do that, it gets worse quality, if that makes sense. It gets compressed. So make sure when you go to print your portfolio, make sure they're all very high quality images. I recommend, like, if you're using I don't know what other photographers use, but if you're using my services, go to your album and print, or like select the ones you want to print and download them there, because that's going to be only compressed once, if that makes sense. And then choose a high quality printing service. So like, don't use Walgreens, don't use Walmart. I mean, you can, but you are taking a risk that the images will not look like how they look on the computer or on your phone. The color grading can be all messed up and things like that. So I really recommend Bay Photo or Nations Photo Lab. They're services that I have used before. And if you want to print right off from your album that I've given to you, those are both plugged in on there. So you could select the images. I'll show you actually at the end. You could select the images and just print from there. Putting it all together. So make sure your images have flow, make sure that they're all mixed up and they look nicely together. They have a good flow. Upkeep, like I talked about, I don't know why I have so many spelling errors. It's recommended that you upkeep your album or your portfolio every 6 months to 2 years, depending on your growth, depending on how much you're shooting, depending on, your appearance, things like that. Okay, let's talk about website portfolios. I just have like a little screenshot up here of like a website, but I'm going to cover it just so you know. Okay, so they're unique and they're perfect for the virtual age. I see website portfolios becoming more and more popular. So it is a good idea. Building an online portfolio is not only pretty simple, but it's a really great way to stand out from the crowd. It's also great during COVID because we're not meeting in person, so you can send a link to anybody, which is really great. It's really easy to upkeep. You might have to pay a monthly fee. I know like Wix is supposed to be free. I personally use Squarespace and I love it. It's amazing. I've used it on both my websites and it's super easy to upkeep. It's $16 a month, so it's not too much. And you can always add new images after every shoot. It's so easy to edit and so easy to upkeep. I love it. So I really recommend Squarespace. And then I think I purchased you can get a Squarespace domain for free, like included in your subscription, or you can buy, I don't know what's going on. I'm just really distracted today, you guys. Or you can purchase a domain for like 10 to 20 bucks a year. So it depends, like a personalized one. And then it's really a great professional addition. So it's a great thing you can add to your toolkit, and it really makes you just look like leveled up, if that makes sense. You also have a larger reach to different platforms, like contacting brands, and you just reach a whole new demographic. Okay. So let's talk about social media and agency websites. Using social media sites are really great tools to reach larger audiences and aid to your portfolio, but I don't recommend relying on these tools as your portfolio. I really recommend doing some kind of professional portfolio, and also keep your Instagram updated, as well as your agency's website with additional portfolio pictures and adding new images and everything like that. So social media and agency website, I recommend as like an additional tool, but definitely make some sort of professional portfolio. Okay, I think that's the end of my slide. So let me show you some examples. So I'm actually going to go into my album delivery site. And I am going to go to, let's see who did a critique. Can't really see that well. Okay, we'll go into Taylor's, I guess. Okay, so I'm in the thing, yada yada, right? And we go over here to cart or store, or you can scroll all the way back down to the bottom too, but I'm just gonna go here. Of course, my computer is gonna take forever to load. But I really wanna show you this example. Okay, so they call them lay flat albums. You can get these. They could be really expensive, but there are ways to make it less expensive. Let me just look. Okay, so you could make a magazine. You could get your prints here. You could get fine art albums. Those are the very expensive ones. They have like a canvas. They're printed on fine art prints. They're like $500, but let's check out the lay flat album. The nice thing about lay flat albums is like they would they put it all together for you, so you don't have to worry about like the flow and like putting it all together. Like they print it and everything. So this is just telling me that an automated album, so we'll just pretend like, so it's 90 bucks. Like I said, 20 prints at $5 is going to be about the same amount, except this puts it all together for you with a beautiful cover. So let's just look at this. How to create an album. Hopefully it like shows it. I have to press play. Can we see it? Okay, there it is. So it looks something like this. I wish they would show like the real thing. Can't do this. How do we exit? Okay. So it will look something like this. Oh, it's my freaking thing getting annoying. That's why. So you can make these, and if you don't want to make them on my site, you can make them on the websites, but my store is set up with the really high quality print services. Okay, so you guys can check that out if you want prints or if you want a album. But let me show you guys some different modeling portfolio websites. So I really like this website. She is like a swimsuit lingerie model, so we're about to see a little bit of skin, but you can see she has home, about, portfolio, publications, influencing, video, commercials, blog, and contact, right? Oh, and she has WordPress, so maybe check out WordPress. So let's go to her about page. It has all about her. You can share it, you can reply, whatever. Okay, portfolio. So we've got her portfolio over here. She's got an ad, she's got lots of pics, range of images. See, she's definitely like in the swimsuit lingerie category. So that's another thing, is don't be putting images in your portfolio that don't coincide with the type of modeling you want to do. So if you want to be a swimsuit lingerie model, you don't need to put tons of images that aren't that. You know, she has a few, but if you look at the top, you know, towards the top where people are actually, you know, not everyone might scroll, it's going to be the best images. Okay. And then you can go over to her publications and see what she's been published in. These are all of her publications. And they always have a contact page, which is really great. Okay. Then this one, I can't show you her whole I can't talk, whole portfolio, but because there is some nudity, but she is a parts model as well. So I just am showing you her parts portfolio, which is awesome. And then we can go to her contact form. It's the same thing. I think her about one is okay too. Yeah, it has her measurements and everything, Polaroids and digitals, and her client list that she's worked with. So, okay, and then last but not least, let me make sure I click on the right thing. This girl, same thing. She's got her name, she's got about home, about portfolio, videos, contact. So if we go to her home, it's just a picture of her. About, it's about her, a little bio, her portfolio. I really love her portfolio. The great thing about online portfolios is that you can add lots of images. You don't have to be as stingy with, you know, the 10 to 20 images. I don't recommend going over 20 images, by the way. So that's that. And then I will also include, I think it's like 3 or 4 videos of some portfolio examples, and also some more information on building portfolios and some more advice on building them. So I hope that helped you guys. Again, if you guys want to sit down with me and create a portfolio together, we will go through your images, we'll pick out the images, we'll pick out the order, and we'll also get you we'll find a good option for a binder for you based on your budget. And we can do that all together. So I hope you guys learned something today. And if you have any questions, of course, let me know. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great week too, because it's Monday.